Charlottesville, Robert E. Lee protest leader says you have to have freedom of hate speech. The man who led the protests against the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue in Charlottesville has said freedom of repugnant speech is an inalienable human right. However, Frank Ernest also told James Whale that he and his movement completely reject the Ku Klux Klan. Ernest represents the Sons of Confederate Veterans, an association of male descendants of men who fought for the South in the American Civil War. He launched a legal challenge to keep the statue of Lee, whose removal was at the center of last week's violence. However, he told James he had nothing to do with the Unite the Right protest and left Charlottesville before the violence erupted. Ernest said that the protesters were unpleasant and we have always denounced those organizations involved in the violence. We do it on a regular basis. This association that because evil people, such as the KKK, have usurped the Confederate flag, the flag is evil. I don't buy that correlation. But he continued, the bad thing is that in order to have freedom like we have in America, we have freedom of speech and you can't say freedom of speech that we approve of. To have freedom of speech, you have to have freedom of repugnant speech. Ernest also said Donald Trump was right to condemn both sides of the Charlottesville protests as only a few months ago the alt-left were killing police officers. Many have criticized Donald Trump for condemning both sides in the Charlottesville protests and only denouncing white supremacy groups later. But Ernest told James Whale, I don't think the president's wrong when he says a group of people who call for the death of police officers are as bad as the other group. He is absolutely right, these are two very bad groups. The pair also discussed slavery and Ernest said he finds it repugnant for anybody from Great Britain to try to wash their hands of the issue. But whilst James admitted we do some pretty disgusting, appalling things, he argued that we don't champion them now.